tonight from my newest book, which is called Quite Mad, an American Pharma Memoir, and shares my experience with mental illness alongside a history of the United States treatment for mental illness. So everything from the history of asylums to lobotomies to our current psychopharmaceuticals. And the Intima was really generous and gave me a lovely review of my book in their latest issue, and so I'm very thankful for that and for the opportunity to be here. And tonight I'm going to read from the prologue of this book. I'm on my knees again, like I was an hour ago and the hour before that. Like I've been each day for the past few months since I first arrived here. Here is a large brick building in the middle of a college campus in the middle of America. Here is where I am teaching and earning a PhD. Here makes people widen their eyes, impressed by the doctor they will eventually include before my name, but mostly by the way my job doesn't have 95 hours or summers. Here is also the third stall of a bathroom on the third floor, where I run several times a day to throw up. Shaking and sweating, my head spinning with thoughts of cancer or brain disease, thoughts that an asteroid was headed towards Earth, or that my cat was right when she looked at me funny this morning, crossed her paws, and told me today was the day I would die. If I hear someone come in, I pause. I try to think really hard, to focus, to hold what little breath I have, and bear down on my teeth, and tense every muscle in my body. I pull myself in stiff like a reed. It's not that I don't want them to know I'm here. It's that if I don't hold taut and still, all dread and dead, eyes and mouth pinned shut, I won't be able to stop heaving and gasping. I won't be able to function as I should. Won't be able to go about my days smiling and nodding. I won't be able to keep pretending. The truth. I'm throwing up because this is what I do lately when I hear students outside, their voices interrupting one another, or planes overhead, sirens racing through the intersection, the professor in his office next to mine, eating lunch, pop of lid, crunch of can, ringing telephone. This is what I do lately when I see the news. Floods and famines, chemicals and cancers, children murdering their parents, parents murdering their children, all interrupted by celebrity gossip and lifestyle reports. Lately, I throw up every time I leave the house. Sometimes I feel so sick I think the planes are going to bomb somewhere. Think the sirens are racing for me like I don't know what's wrong yet. Think the news reports are broadcasting warnings from the future. I have generalized anxiety disorder, which means I live a socially stigmatized existence ruled by chronic fear and worry, my stress over lack of sleep or bills or work, twisting itself in my psyche until it manifests as constant distress, irritability, restlessness, catastrophic paranoia, and yes, strange delusions. Sometimes I have panic attacks, feelings of terror that come on suddenly, peaking within a few minutes, but whose symptoms last several hours and leave me with the lingering fear of having another attack, a worry that often brings on several more. I was 22 the first time I had a panic attack. One night I took 2 ibuprofen and quickly became convinced I'd swallowed a handful. A burn enveloped my body. I lost my breath, my limbs went dead, and even though I felt trapped in the chaos, I also seemed to be floating above the scene, disconnected from the moment, powerless to stop whatever was seeping through me, building speed until it surged. I grew hysterical, pacing the house, hyperventilating and sweating, eventually cowering in a cold shower. Afraid to sleep after the attack, I spent much of the night retching and crying, gnarled fingers clutching at my unreliable heart. The attacks continued the next day and in the weeks after, building in frequency until I began experiencing dozens each night, waking up in a cold sweat, unable to breathe, crying out as I clawed at my chest. Ever since, I've had attacks that stem from mundane things. Driving by a car accident causes catastrophic thoughts of my own mortality. Unusually sore muscles leads to thoughts of cancer creeping through my body like a blush. Coming up the stairs and finding myself out of breath triggers a fear that I'm having an attack, and my body follows suit. It's mostly miserable, irritatingly irrational, entirely inexplicable. I'm afraid of dying a lot these days, so I retreat to bathrooms, bathtubs, the floor, trying to make the world disappear by focusing on the toilet, the shower stall, a bit of fuzz on the carpet. It's like I think that focusing intensely on some small detail will help me forget my fear of future destruction. These are the details I focus on now, here in the third stall of a bathroom on the third floor, in a building in the center of a college campus in the center of America. 2 graffiti messages and a picture etched into the stall's thick paint. Right next to the toilet is the phrase, "Every day is a gift." And a little further down, tucked into the back corner of the stall, he's watching. He knows. he's on your side. And the drawing of the symbol for the female gender, a large circle atop a tiny cross. The symbol looks like a heavy head weighing down a tiny body. The letters are jagged, like whoever carved them into the stall's peach lacquer struggled to leave the mark, like the message took time, effort, like the effort broke the pen. As I lean over again to heave, averting my eyes from my reflection in the water of the toilet, I focus on the message, trying hard not to wince at the idea of a gift, trying not to think about the fact that sometimes I know someone is watching, that he's a stalker or a murderer, or worse, that he's God telling me who will die, when, and how. Because I am prone to paranoia, reading messages into the simplest of things, I'm convinced these etchings are meant for me. Much of the past year has been a waiting game. Waiting for another panic attack to subside, waiting for the class I'm teaching to start, for the class I'm taking to finish, waiting for the day or the world to end so I can forget the overwhelming fear. I'm waiting for a doctor to understand this thing in my head. I'm waiting for a medication to start working so I can be fixed. I'm waiting to find a medication that won't make me sicker. My nausea and my dizziness and my scattered thoughts are just some of the side effects from my medication. One designed to balance fear and coerce happiness, but that makes it so I don't feel like the same person anymore. Doctors have explained this to me many times. My brain is unstable, so I need medication. I need to take medication every day. I need to take medication for the rest of my life. They don't say it will take years of my trial, their error, to find a medication that does not injure me. They don't say that many of the pills will make me feel even more unbalanced, or that some will send me spiraling when I stop taking them. They don't say that some will leave me unconscious, as though my life is better spent asleep, that some will make my hair fall out, that some will leave me unable to orgasm, that some will permanently change my vision, some will ignite a burning rage that leaves me clutching a butcher knife as I shout at my lover. Even though I am not in chains or in insulin coma, even though this is the 2000s and I am not lobotomized or Valium comatose like a 1950s housewife, I am still wrong, dangerous, still not to be trusted. And I am not alone. The National Institute of Mental Health reports that 18.1% or 42 million Americans lives with anxiety disorders, the largest prevalence of mental illness in our country. Though we are promised relief by contemporary medicine, we are still waiting for evidence, waiting for answers, waiting for proof that we in America have come a long way in our understanding of mental illness and our ability to control and cure the unstable. The waiting game will continue for many years as I bounce from medication to medication, searching for something that will make this madness fade, something that won't injure my body so much, something that will let me off of my knees. No matter the drug, I will retreat to the same stall, the meaning of the messages changing depending upon the chemical lens over my life. I'll read and reread these messages, even after a janitor tries to scrub the scratches out, leaving a cloudy mess blurring and distorting the phrases. Still, I'll know the words are there under the tangle, the way he's tried to hide the mess, distract from what he cannot fix. I will know what they are saying to me, will see through the surface to what lies beneath. I won't tell anyone, of course, what I see, what I know. I'm crazy after all. Who would believe me? Who would care about a tiny detail, a fixation, a message to a mad woman? I finish throwing up and I wipe my mouth. He's watching. He knows. I lean my fork head against the cool metal of the bathroom stall. He's on your side. I breathe slowly. 1, 2, 3. Every day is a gift. I'm still shaking, still seeing flashes of darkness and decay from the corner of my eyes every day. I open the door and head downstairs to teach a class to bright-eyed university students, a class, ironically enough, on critical thinking, logic. Thank you.